Hey everybody, Sean and Allison here from Spoken Garden.
Hey guys.
Hey guys, happy Friday.
Happy Friday.
And if you don't know what that means, so maybe you do, it's Plant Chat Friday.
Yay, it's one of our favorite days of the week because we love highlighting all the plants around our yard in order to help you if you need, plant care or guidance with any of those plants too.
And we've been doing these for a little over a year now.
I know,
and
right.
it's been really fun. And we want to tell you, we're going to change it up a little bit today, and we're going to kind of do the Plant Chat in two sections.
Yeah, good to try new things, right?
Yeah, we want to make sure that any of you out there that are just looking for the plant facts, just right away, we're going to do that right up front and give those to you. And then after that, we're going to apply those. We're going to talk to you about how to apply those and how we apply them in our garden.
Yeah, like if there's any deadheading or how to do it, how to apply fertilizer if needed, like all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, how to check for water. Is your plant sited right in your garden for sun exposure and whatnot? But we want to let you know up front before we do it.
Yeah. So hopefully that'll help you out. And again, there will be some timestamps down below if you want to just go straight to those certain sections. But other than that, let's get to the plant this week because it is a gorgeous one.
Yep, Oak Leaf Acanthus.
Yes, Acanthus mollis. It's also called bear's breeches. Did I say that right?
Yeah, I think
Bear
so.
breeches.
Bear's breeches.
Got a couple different names, but it's got, well, we'll show you here before we
right
talk
behind
too
us
much
there.
about it. It's right here, you guys.
Yep, right here.
So we are going to highlight this plant today. I mean, the leaves alone, a lot of people do grow this for the foliage, but there actually are flowers that emerge in June or July.
Yep, you can see one right
I know, look at it.
there.
We're so excited. We forgot that it flowers. We're like, oh, the leaves are beautiful. We love this plant.
Yep. So let's get to the facts. Just the facts, ma'am, right? So Oak Leaf Acanthus grows in zones 6 through 11, and that means for hardiness, it is hardy down to -10 degrees Fahrenheit up to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 6 to 11. That's the hardiness temperatures right there. It likes filtered sun to partial shade. It likes well-draining soil. It'll take a lot of different kinds of soil, grow in a lot of different kinds of soil. Anything that's just well-draining. If it's not well-draining, it won't like it. And it likes regular watering, so you want to be able to make sure that it has moist soil when it's growing, when it's actively growing. So this acanthus, our Oak Leaf Acanthus, it'll bloom in spring and can bloom into the summertime, like early summer. And here's one of its flowers right here. It grows a tall spike-looking flower with multiple blooms on it, really similar to a snapdragon and having a hooded flower that kind of bells down, kind of a bell shape. And it's just beautiful. This is supposed to be kind of a lilac tinged white flower. So guys, this is a really cool plant. It'll get up to 4 feet high and it'll spread up to 4 feet in size, maybe even bigger, depending on where it's growing and how well it likes where it's growing. This plant is susceptible to powdery mildew. It's susceptible to aphids, slugs, and snails. And you guys, you might not know this, but this plant is, it's definitely a herbaceous perennial, but it grows from a rhizome. So it's kind of like, it's actually a bulb. It's pretty cool. So just those are the facts about this plant. Super awesome. Love this plant so far. Beautifully, definitely lobed leaves and these glossy, large leaves growing out from a central location.
Okay, you guys, so we're going to start talking about a little bit more about the plant itself, like how you could use it in your landscape and maybe the application of some of the plant care that we just told you about. There's not really a heck of a lot you really have to do with this plant. There might be some deadheading. So deadheading will come in after the flower has already bloomed this summer. And after it blooms, you're going to want to come in and deadhead it and just snip it at the stem. Or Sean, would you you probably go all the way down here?
Maybe all the way down, yeah. But it's definitely up to you if you wanna cut down to these newer leaves down here, just above those, and keep these newer leaves. That's perfectly fine. But the flower stalk and the stem goes all the way down there, so you might think about coming down here and just pruning it down close to where it's originating from.
Yeah. And if you have a new acanthus, don't be frustrated if it doesn't bloom that first year. Instances that it might not bloom include like if you grew it from seed. So seed it usually takes a lot longer for plants to kind of mature, right, and grow. So it might be up to 3 or 4 years before you actually see any flower blooms. But often people grow acanthus for the foliage anyway. So I think the flowers are just such a cool bonus. We wanted to show you, we got our plant from Monrovia. So Monrovia is a great company. You may or may not have heard or have bought their plants before. They have awesome plants. They do have this available. I don't know if you can buy this particular one online, but they have it online to look at. So we just wanted to mention that, and that's monrovia.com. So back to the plant, you can see obviously we planted ours in a really large container, and we kind of knew that we'd only maybe keep this here for 1 or 2 years, and then we're probably going to need to transplant it out into the landscape. A lot of people just put acanthus right in the ground and use it as like a background planting, or maybe along a border. The thing you've got to be careful with acanthus is it can spread and take over a big area. So it might shade out a bunch of other plants that you didn't want to have in the shade. So be really mindful of that. And there's different ways to contain it, like putting some type of border around the actual plant, or we were reading online that people have even taken large pots and just sunk them right in the ground so that the acanthus is just kind of contained. Kind of like mint. If you've ever grown mint, you know that it spreads aggressively unless you keep it in a container. So this might be a kind of similar thing. So other than that, this container, we created a tropical container with the acanthus as kind of the centerpiece, and it's providing shade for all these shade-loving plants underneath. You can see some begonias. We've got some hart's tongue fern. They're all thriving and doing very well. We keep the soil really moist, consistently moist. So that helps out a lot. Now we use just like a basic potting soil mix in this planter, and like Sean already explained, acanthus can really tolerate just about any type of soil, so that's cool, right? Any type of soil you have, as long as it's well-draining soil. Otherwise, they're probably not going to do as well. So speaking of companion plants, depending on where you plant your acanthus, again, there's different varieties that might tolerate more sun conditions than ours. Ours is more of a partial shade, and in this location where we have it, it probably gets about 1, maybe 2 hours of sunlight a day, which is perfect for what it needs. So any type of plant that tolerates those sun conditions that also has the same water and soil conditions would be great companions. We already showed you begonias, hart's tongue fern, any other types of ferns that can grow in those conditions. Other plants, maybe coleus, maybe some hostas, if you kind of plant a border of acanthus and then hostas, and you can do some different arrangements with those kind of plants. So just make sure and be mindful of the care needs that all of the plants need together before you plant anything.
So guys, a couple more things we wanted to tell you about the oak leaf acanthus. You can propagate this plant either by seed, and that's just letting the flower come up, do its thing, and then collect the seed after it's all done. Or also in the early spring, you can actually take root cuttings from the plant and you can start new plants from those too. So that's pretty cool. Now, when you come through and you want to deadhead, you can also come through and cut away these older leaves. If they're damaged, like this one back here, I don't know if you can see it, but it's got a little tear there. Might have been from, this is one of the leaves that came with the plant when we bought it, so it's probably from transport and handling. So if it was us, if we were gonna do this, and we're not gonna do it right now, but maybe later, we would cut this leaf, this stem of this stalk of this leaf down to here. You guys can see that. Sorry, let's get down there. There we go. Cut it down here, and then we would fully remove this leaf, and that's how you would remove old or damaged leaves. Also guys, something to think about is the oak leaf acanthus is hardy down to -10 degrees, like we told you before. But if your outside temperatures in the winter reach down to 20 degrees or lower, all this greenery will die back. In that case, you would treat it like a herbaceous perennial. Leave those dead leaves on there until the early spring. Come in and cut them away just like we showed you, and you'll get a flush of new growth. Now, also, if your temperatures don't reach down to 20 degrees over the winter time and you have these nice green leaves over the winter into next spring, you can still come in and then cut away these larger, older leaves from last year, and you'll get this new flush of growth too from the oak leaf acanthus. So you can have a whole new flush of growth of leaves when you need to in that springtime. Yeah, guys, so like we're telling you, this grows from a clump form down here. Here's one of the newer leaves that's growing. These are the older leaves out away from the center, and you can see it grows down here at the center. The newer leaves are close to the center, and the older leaves are out away from the center. And the very last thing that we want to tell you guys is that you can fertilize the oak leaf acanthus. It's perfectly fine. You can use a balanced fertilizer for liquid fertilizer or a time-release pelleted fertilizer. We use just a general pelletized fertilizer, time-release fertilizer. So what we did is we sprinkled it around the soil area, and then what we did is we water. When we water, It's probably going to take an overhead watering, not like in this system right here that is self-watering container, but an overwatering container, overhead watering. And every time you water that time release fertilizer, it will then release some of the little bit of that fertilizer down into the soil for the plant roots to then take up.
So that was our Friday plant chat this week, featuring the oak leaf acanthus, or also known as Acanthus mollis.
Or bear's breeches.
Or bear's breeches, probably some other names we haven't heard yet, but it's a beautiful foliage plant. It has a surprising beautiful flower, so we're excited to see that. And there's a lot of ways you can use it in your garden.
Yeah, guys, we hope that was really helpful for you. Maybe you'll be adding an oak leaf acanthus to your garden too. So definitely leave any comments or questions down below for us. We love hearing from you guys. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss our future upcoming garden care videos.
Yeah, and thank you for watching and for being here, you guys. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow on our Saturday morning live garden chat. Oh, yeah. 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Sean and I will be there with our coffee and tea, talking about memorial gardens in honor of Memorial Day for this weekend. Yep. So come join us on YouTube Live, and we'll see you there.
Yep, see you there, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.